very good afternoon to you, and welcome to the latest episode of Freeworld Trading. So Brexit's all over the place at the moment. What is happening with regard to currency and Brexit?
Right. Well, the currency today, this is Friday, is about 111 for the euro and about 142.60. So what we've got is a combination of sterling weakness and a bit of dollar strength. The dollar's been coming back a little bit. That's because, well, we've gone from a speculation that the Fed will steadily increase its interest rate to they won't do that till they won't put the next interest rate through till well into 2017. There have been some fairly good data coming out of the States, and that's created a bit of dollar strength. And then the 142.50, the sterling thing, is sterling weakness, which is increasingly driven not so much by speculation about will they ever raise the interest rates again for GBP, but more to do with the possibility of Brexit, which is in focus now because we've got an EC summit going on. For if Cameron is going to call the referendum before June, and as we've discussed previously, the reason he would want to do that is because that's before the migration seasons. That's probably the last point before the migration season really takes off. So there's an EC summit, and he has to produce something at the summit as we speak, which he can then bring back and say to the British people that here's this fantastic deal I've negotiated with the EC, particularly to members of his own party, because his party is the most split by the possibility of leaving the EC. So he has to come back with a solid set of proposals and make it look like he's got some sort of special deal because he's bargained really hard. It's almost certain that he will come back with something, most likely to do with benefits for East European migrants into the UK. Currently, they can get UK child benefit delivered to kids, say in Romania, for instance, which some people find iniquitous. So he'll come back with a bunch of stuff. The trouble is that I don't think that they've got anywhere near enough time to pass these things into EC law by the time we get around to the referendum. So whatever he comes up with is almost certainly going to be poo-pooed. Anyway, let's see. That's mainly what's going on. Okay. There's a slight thing here which I feel it's being seen as a purely British problem. So it's weighing heavily on sterling, and there's a good few cents in there for the Brexit discount for the Brexit effect. But in my view, and I think in most rational people's view, Brexit is not a British problem, it's a European problem. And I think very sensibly you could argue that it's actually a global problem. So, you'd expect a bit of weakening in the euro, a bit of loss of risk appetite. But so far, the Brexit remains located as a British disease.
Right, that's all very interesting, and you can see the developments taking place.
Riveting,
in the next
yeah.
few days. Riveting, in the least sarcastic way said. There's a big food exhibition happening at the moment. What's it called?
Yeah, that's right. That's Gulf Food,
Gulf
which is
Foods.
in Dubai.
So why aren't we there?
Why aren't we there? Well, because I'm sick of getting on planes and going to places like this. Dubai is a very nice, clean, safe city, but it doesn't push my buttons. Increasingly, we used to go to these exhibitions because we would meet new suppliers, new customers. The customers are there obviously to sell, so you feel a bit uh, weird about disturbing their pattern of behavior. And the fact is that we actually have a very good set of suppliers, and the modern market doesn't work in that way, in that you just go around and buy the cheapest price from the newest supplier, maybe trying to get in with you. It's a very complicated process where you have to start seeing what the factory is like, maybe try and do some background checks on their financial capital, their integrity. And whilst it is good to meet people who you are dealing with, probably the best place to meet people you are dealing with is either in your own office or theirs. So that's why we haven't gone this year. It's
So why do you think, in light of what you said, why do you think food fairs like that remain popular?
They do remain popular because it is a way of seeing a lot of people at the same time. The premier one for that is Anuga and Sial, which alternate year by year. But I think they're a thing of the past. These specialist fairs, like we've just had ISN, the Sweetie exhibition, and BioFac, which is for organic stuff in Europe, but it's also in other places. These are increasingly popular, and I think the more niche ones will slowly take over. I mean, Anuga's just too big most of the time.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, and it's quite interesting because in other industries like, well, I don't know, the arms industry, for example,
Oh,
like
really?
there's only like really kind of one big fair, and that's
That's the one in Excel. I
yeah,
was reading
exactly,
about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jordan, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how these different ways to communicate information and these different ways to bring people together, and how that's relevant and unique to certain companies' interests. So
Yeah,
like
that's
not every
right.
company is the same, and like I think, but we are definitely seeing a trend with quality first and more people wanting to see what the actual product
Quality
looks like.
first and more conservative sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. So that's all very interesting. Stay tuned on the news and with what's happening with regard to Brexit, and hope to catch you another day. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Okay.